Hello there, monsters and men, ladies and people, and welcome to Recharging. Standing right here is an electric bike from the company VanMoof. And what a coincidence, I'm actually standing in the Netherlands, because I was born there, and that is one of the countries in the world which has one of the richest biking cultures. But anyway, this is the VanMoof S3, and with this bike, VanMoof wants to replace the car with this bike in a city of the future. I had this bike for a few days and it was my job to find out if it can actually do that. So let's start with maybe one of the most important things of them all, the price. Because if you want to start a revolution, it should be one that everyone can afford. This VanMoof S3 costs 2,000 euros. And because of that, it's actually 1,000 euros cheaper than the VanMoof S2. 1,000 euros, I mean that is a lot of money. And actually those 2,000 euros is a very good price for what you get. So what do you get for those 2,000 euros? Well, you actually get a very good looking e-bike. This one is in color black gray. It actually has a matte finish where the S2 had a glossy finish. I like this a lot more. You can also get the e-bike in the color white blue. It's a white blue color. And VanMoof actually tries to hide as many components and wires as possible, and therefore you get a very clean look. So the only wires that are exposed are the wires for the brake. And even those, I think VanMoof could hide somewhere in the frame. They didn't, but maybe for the S4. As standard, this bike does not come with any carrier, so it does not have a rear or front carrier. Those are accessories that you can buy in the VanMoof store, but they do ruin the look of your bike. But of course, you can carry more luggage then. VanMoof also try to make their e-bikes as vandalism proof as possible, and I do that by, for example, not having a single light but integrate them here in the frame so they cannot be broken or stolen by anyone. So you probably already guessed it, the battery of the VanMoof is integrated into the frame. Also, all the electronics are integrated into the frame right here. You can remove them by removing your rear lights, then a cartridge will come out with all the electronics. For when it breaks, you can actually send the cartridge to VanMoof and they will fix it. What is also integrated into the frame is a little display right here, which is used for various features, like seeing your state of charge or your speed while driving, while cycling. A downside is though that the display is very hard to see in direct sunlight. The bike also uses an electronic gear shifter. And it actually has 4 gears, and in the VanMoof app you can actually decide when the bike should gear up or when the bike should gear down. And that is not the only thing you can do in the VanMoof app. No, you can also set the ringtone of your bell. So I got this one right now, but you can set various other ringtones. You can also set there the amount of support the bike should give when you're cycling. You can set your PIN code for unlocking the bike. You can track your rides. It has location tracking. You can see where your bike is. So you can do a lot of things with the VanMoof app, and it's also the main way to control your bike, to do the settings of your bike. So what VanMoof is really proud of and what they're also known for is their theft prevention. This bike has a kick lock system. What does that mean? Well, you do have 2 white stripes, one on the frame and one on the wheel. You have to align those. And when they are aligned, you can kick a little button over here. With that, the bike is locked and the theft prevention system will go on. So what does that mean? If I pick up the bike now and I move it like this, it will actually make a sound and there will be a little skull here in the display. So nobody can take your bike unnoticed. Also, when the theft prevention is on, location tracking will go on. So that means you can find your e-bike wherever you want on your VanMoof app. You can see where it is. Also, when your bike gets stolen, VanMoof can actually disable all electronics. It can also see where it is because of the location tracking then. But they will disable all the electronics, so this bike is not, it's not usable as an e-bike anymore. And they also have a peace of mind subscription that you can take. It's not mandatory, but you can take it. And what does that mean? If your bike gets stolen, they will actually track it for you, and when they find your, they will actually track it for you and return your bike, and they will actually succeed in 70% of all cases. And if they do not succeed, you actually get a new e-bike. So enough about all the nice features. How does the VanMoof S3 bike? Well, before we can do that, I first have to enable it again because, as you can hear now, you can hear it, it's on the anti-theft system. So we have to enable the bike again. And you can do that in 3 different ways. If you don't have your mobile phone with you that has the app on it, or someone else wants to take your bike, they can do it through a PIN code. So you press the left button on the steering wheel, the display here will enable, and you can enter your PIN code, which you can set through the app. So you can change your PIN code in the app. The second way is through the app. So you are close to the bike and the app will present you with an unlock button and the bike will unlock. But maybe the nicest way is to do it with your phone, because, well, you walk closely to the bike, your phone will make a Bluetooth connection to the bike, and the only thing you have to do then is press this left button, the bike will unlock, and you're good to go. And well, that is the way that you will use most of the times, and it is really fast. I really like it. So we can finally take a ride with the VanMoof S3. So how does it ride? Well, the VanMoof S3 has a front motor design. That means, well, it has a motor at the front wheels and it has a rotation sensor at the pedals. What does that mean? Well, that means if you cycle really slowly, the bike will still accelerate to 25 kilometers an hour if you have it at the maximum setting, or for example 15 if you have it on setting number 2. I don't mind this because I like to cruise at the setting that I put the bike on. So if I want to go fast, I put it on setting 4 and I go 25 kilometers an hour. Again, I don't mind, but for some people this can be unnatural, and a middle motor for those people is better. But this bike still rides very well. And that is because, well, the electric motor is actually very smooth. It's not on or off like that other e-bikes have. So what is actually the range that you can go with this bike? Well, if you have it on the highest setting, you will get around 60 kilometers. If you put it on eco mode, you can get around 150 kilometers. So there's plenty of range for everyone for whatever they want to do with it. A downside is though that you cannot adjust your support setting while driving. You actually have to stand still with the bike to adjust your support setting from, I don't know, from 2 to 3 or 4 or whatever. So that is a little bit of a downside. So when you're cycling with this bike, you can actually see your state of charge and your current speed in the display here. So that is very nice. What about the gear shifting? Well, when you cycle normally, it is seamless or near seamless. You can maybe feel it a little, but it doesn't bother that much. But if you cycle a little bit harder with a little bit more force, you do hear a click. And also you feel no resistance in the pedals for just a brief moment. So then you feel the shifting. And also the click doesn't sound that robust. And then as a last thing, there's the boost button. And man, I love this button. What is the boost button? Well, when you are standing still at the traffic light or you're going uphill, while cycling, you press the right button, and as long as you hold it, the bike will accelerate to 25 kilometers an hour for you. And it does that like that. It's amazing. You pass everyone and it is so easy, and it just helps you, again, going up that hill, for example. I love it. Hello and welcome to this little sneak peek of my house. The sound and light may not be optimal, but I do this to show a big downside of the VanMoof S3. So behind me are the stairs to my apartment. My apartment is on the 2nd floor, and besides this hallway and my apartment, I don't have any other way to store this bike inside. And the VanMoof S3 does not have a removable battery. So that means to charge this bike, I have to run an extension cord from my kitchen all the way down here. I have to put the bike like this halfway on the stairs, and then I can charge it. I can also not carry it up because, well, it is quite big and it weighs 20 kilos. And I'm sorry, I cannot just do that. And there are probably people who are in even a worse situation regarding this than me. When it is charging though, the bike will charge from 0 to 50% in 80 minutes and from 0 to 100% in about 4 hours. So yes, it is possible to, for example, charge it at work if you have those possibilities. But if you don't, and you are in a situation like me or worse, this is less than ideal. So will this bike replace cars in the city of the future? Well, I gotta say, I started to love this bike. I love the design, I love all the smart features about it, and for 2,000 euros I think it is really, really good value. But in the city of the future there are people living in apartments like me. people who cannot put their bike near their house. So because of the not removable battery, they cannot charge it. Or people like me who have to work with it with an extension cord, which is also not ideal. And because of that not removable battery, I think VanMoof will lose a lot of potential customers. But for anyone who can charge this bike near their home, it is hard not to recommend it. So if you like this video, please give a like and subscribe. If you did not, please leave a comment below to see what I can improve. And then I would like to say now, as always, thank you a lot for watching, and to be continued.